Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signs a legislation requiring universities to survey students and faculty of their beliefs to promote cultural diversity within the state of Florida.
Hi, my name is Kamil, and I will be talking about rule number 1 of Find the Cracks. While Governor DeSantis wants to promote cultural diversity, he contradicts that promotion with his indications that sharing different ideologies is okay to express as long as it does not include the ideologies of critical race theory. On the other hand, Governor DeSantis signs the law HB 233 in Florida that requires students and faculty to be asked their political beliefs in regard to topics such as critical race theory. However, this bill does not specifically say what will be done with the survey results. The last crack found in the subject of critical race theory is the way Governor DeSantis goes against his saying of wanting to allow people to express their own opinions and beliefs, but then later bans critical race theory teaching in Florida, when critical race theory is a prime example of being able to express opinions and beliefs of civil rights scholars and activists as a way to approach racial justice. Rule number 2 is the big lie. The first big lie of the critical race theory is that it is a threat. However, when you look at the definition of what critical race theory is, according to Education Week, under the article, What is Critical Race Theory and Why is it Under Attack?, it defines critical race theory as the core idea that race is a social construct and that racism is not merely the product of individual bias or prejudice, but also something embedded in legal systems and policies. So if the overall outline of what critical race theory teaches is to let people know the racism and problems that have been embedded in America and how to hopefully combat against such things, that leads with the question of why is it labeled with the lie of it being a threat. It is labeled as a threat because of lies such as the one made here by Governor DeSantis, where he says, "In Florida, we are taking a stand against the state-sanctioned racism that is critical race theory." Yet, that is the complete opposite of what critical race theory teaches.
Hi, my name is Tracy, and I'll be talking about rule number 3. Sarasota, a city in Florida, trying to remove CRT and BML away from 5th grade history curriculum. A quote from Black Lives Matter removed from Sarasota 5th grade curriculum due to critical race theory concern article said the textbook publisher has decided to remove the passage in question from upcoming units and replace it with the alternative passage that content that touches upon a sensitive topics in the manner that conforms with the state's guidelines. These quote-unquote state guidelines are replacing BML and CRT as civil rights movement. Quote, the replacement text, which is similar but is set as a civil rights protest in 1960s instead of a Black Lives Matter protest, end quote. Other than teaching the children the ugly truth about their history should be taught than just touched upon and hidden. Thank you.
Here are some statements of a high school teacher, Mr. De Jesus, regarding his opinion of CRT being taught in schools at an early age.
My name is Brandon Kirkland De Jesus, and I am a teacher at Vintage High School. I absolutely think that students should learn about critical race theory and BLM. I do not agree with Florida's decision to ban CRT in classrooms because I think that if we deny fundamental truths about the creation of this country, we create less empathetic students who are blind to the needs of others in society. The fabric of this country is built on the existence of racism, and that if students are taught to ignore that, it builds an inherent bias into them that carries on throughout the rest of their lives.
Hi, my name is Larena Abdon, and I will be talking about rule number 5, the useful idiot. Governor DeSantis announces the legislative proposal, Stop the Wrongs to Our Kids and Employees Act. He stated that they won't allow Florida tax dollars to be spent teaching kids to hate our country or to hate each other. When Florida banned the teaching of critical race theory in schools, Governor DeSantis had the impression that it taught kids to hate each other. He stated that the woke class wants to teach kids to hate each other rather than teaching them how to read, and we won't allow it. Florida Education Association President Andrew Spar stated that many educators are concerned due to how he described CRT. He believes that politics are controlling educational decisions. He believes that politics seem to be driving the educational decisions rather than content and the curriculum that we need to focus on.
Hi, my name is Abbygail Alejandrino, and I will be presenting Rule 6, Deny, Deny, Deny. While Black Lives Matter and critical race theory is heavily essential when teaching our future generations, Florida Governor DeSantis states, we won't allow Florida tax dollars to be spent teaching kids to hate our country or to hate each other. We also have a responsibility to ensure that parents have the means to vindicate their rights when it comes to enforcing state standards. Finally, we must protect Florida workers against the hostile work environment that is created when large corporations force their employees to endure CRT-inspired training and indoctrination. Governor DeSantis refuses to distribute funds to teaching critical race to students. Despite the fact that the bill signed is for students to give feedback for a positive learning environment, he denies the funds from tax dollars to stop, quote, teaching kids to hate each other.
Next, I will be talking about rule number 7, the long game. A good portion of people believe that CRT has a negative effect. This academic understanding of critical race theory differs from representation in recent popular books, and especially from its portrayal by critics, often, though not exclusively, conservative Republicans. A conservative organization, the Heritage Foundation, recently attributed a whole host of issues to CRT, including the 2020 Black Lives Matter protests and LGBTQ clubs in schools.
So the question is, how do we inoculate ourselves? To provide the solution of how we inoculate ourselves from this legislative decision within the state of Florida is to spread awareness regarding how several schools refuse to teach CRT and Black Lives Matter in elementary schools. Despite the fact that Governor DeSantis recalls the surveys would, quote, assess viewpoint diversity and intellectual freedom, stated TheHill.com. We need to shed light on the fact that this new bill will take action on July 1st and will not make much of an impact towards improving education system and future generations. Spreading awareness about the works of this bill will get the governor's attention and other citizens who are victimized and humanized by the unreliable government.